Most marketers think that GA4 or Google Analytics 4 magically attributes conversions to specific sources or specific campaigns, but they don't know how actually it works. That's why I'm recording this video. I'll show you how Google Analytics 4 collects that attribution data, and I'll also show you how to make sure that your site is sending attribution data to Google Analytics 4. And bonus, if you completed this until the end, I'll be also sharing with you my attribution confidence template that you and your team can just use it out of the box. So let's get ahead and start with this video. When you open your Google Analytics 4 property under acquisition, traffic acquisition report, you would see the source medium data, and this is what I mean by attribution data. So for example, for this row, it is saying facebook.com/or/referral. This means that the source was Facebook and the medium was referral. Along with that, we can also get a bunch of metrics like the sessions, engaged sessions, and engaged conversion rate, purchase revenue, and much more. You can actually customize this whole report by just doing simple steps. I already covered this in a video. I'll be linking it in the description as well. So make sure to check it out if you want to customize your Google Analytics 4 reports. In order for Google Analytics 4 to get that information, the source and medium, and again, these are the attribution data, your marketing team would basically need to include that with their ads, and they can do that easily within the ad URL itself. So for example, I have here my website, which is the webanalyticscommunity.com. In order to add a parameter in this URL, I'll just add a question mark and I'll type UTM_source. And let's say that we are doing a Facebook ad. So I'm just gonna name it Facebook or Meta, up to you. And then I'll just add and UTM_medium, because we're now passing the medium, equals paid_social, and hit enter. And this is basically the UTM parameters and how to add them with your website URL. And for your marketing team, while they're doing the ad itself, let's say I'm creating this ad from the Facebook Ads Manager. When I'm adding the website URL, maybe directing the traffic to a specific product page, for example, I'll just adding the product URL, and I'll include the Facebook as a source and a medium paid social, and even I can add the campaign name with the URL. So when users click on the ad in Google Analytics 4, Google Analytics can see which platform that brought in this user and which medium that brought in the same user. This ensures that Google Analytics 4 is tracking attribution data correctly. Every time your team is creating a campaign, they'll need to create or add in the UTM parameter manually. However, to ensure that they add the correct UTM source and medium on all the other details, they can actually use a spreadsheet where they are 100% sure that they're using the correct source and medium, and also you can list the preferred source and medium that your company or your team should be using. The spreadsheet has two tabs. The first or the second tab is documentation. You should be adding here the preferred naming convention for the source and medium that your team should be using. So for example, for Facebook, they should be using the source of Facebook and the medium of paid_social. And campaign, this honestly shouldn't be added here. It should be dynamic because each campaign will have the same name, but I'm just adding all the UTM parameters that you should be using. Now for the main tab, which is the UTM Maker, you just need to add in few details, and the UTM parameters would be created and included for your website URL. So this is an example here. This is the ad status. So I'm currently doing a new ad. So I'm just gonna say inactive because I haven't yet started this campaign or launched this ad. And then I'm just gonna add the generic name that I can recall and remember for this campaign. So I'm just gonna do 25% off. Let's say I'm doing a 25% off, and then I'll just need to add in my website URL. So I'm just gonna copy it from here and paste it. And let's say that I'm doing an Instagram ad. So I'm just gonna type IG, stands for Instagram. And let me actually add it in low caps. And the medium is paid social. So I already have this here. I'm just gonna copy and paste. UTM campaign is another UTM parameter. So let's say we name it 25 off, and the content here is UGC. And actually I need to copy this and add it with the cheat so the configuration work. And here I'll just expand this to include this other field. But as you already noticed, it's not actually clickable. So let's go back and see why this is the case. So I have actually forgot to add this question mark, and it is one of the building blocks of the URL. So once I add it, website URL would now look good. Let me actually copy it and paste it with other fields so I do not forget to do that in the next time. And now I can just click on the URL and inspect the search field. So as you can see, we have the website opened and we have the UTM parameters over here. So UTM source is IG, UTM medium is paid social, and the campaign is 25 off, and UTM content is UGC. I have one important note to share here. Some platforms like Facebook and Google Ads generate a unique clicks when the user clicks on that ad. So for example, when a user clicks on a Facebook ad, Facebook will append a URL parameter that is similar to the UTM source and medium that we have just discussed, but the name of it is Facebook Click ID. And similarly, Google will do the same. They have their own Click ID, which is Google Click ID. So if you haven't tagged your ads at all and you're just relying on the platform Click ID, this will work only for the platform. So let me give you an actual example. I am now inspecting Nike's ads and seeing if they are tagging it or not. So for example, here I have an ad. Let's click on it and see what happens. If I clicked on it and looked at the URL, it would look normal for us. However, if we go back and then right click and click copy link address and add this anywhere. So I'm just gonna add it here. You can see that the URL now changes. It doesn't specifically show you the Facebook Click ID, but it is not encoded and we cannot see it, but it is the identifier that Facebook places, and similarly Google Ads places, just like I mentioned, but we can see it. So in this example, if I open this URL, place the purchase, what will happen is that in Facebook, I will see one purchase created for this ad, but in Google Analytics, I will see one purchase credited to direct none or direct, because for Google Analytics, it doesn't have actually an attribution data. It doesn't have a UTM source and medium, at least. So in these cases, that conversion wouldn't be attributed to Facebook when you're looking at the acquisition reports in Google Analytics 4. So that's a very important note you always have to remember. And you always need to remind your marketing team, if you're not part of that team, to always use the UTM parameters, at least the source and medium, so your attribution data in Google Analytics 4 is recorded correctly. Now, to validate this on your website, you just need to make sure that your Google Analytics 4 is correctly configured on your website. This means that making sure that there is only one page view event on each page, nothing more, nothing less. 2, making sure that all the e-commerce events are firing as expected, or if you're a lead generation or website or business or any other type of websites, just making sure that the key events or the events that matter the most are enabled and working as expected on your website. This would take us so much time to explain, so I'll be sharing the most important thing to note that could be impacting your attribution data, which is session breakage in Google Analytics 4 on your website. Google Analytics 4 uses something called the client ID. It's an ID that Google Analytics creates and assigns to each and every user that enters your website, and each client ID is unique to the user that is visiting the site. If that ID is different each time the user reloads the page or performs an action at any point or all the time, this means that the session is breaking. You need to make sure that the client ID is always consistent on your website while the user is visiting. So let me show you how you can validate this. Open Google Tag Manager and then hit the preview button. Once you do that, it will ask you to add in your website URL. It will open your website in a new tab, and also it will open something called the preview window. And then once you do that, click on your Google Analytics 4 stream ID over here and open the page view tag or page view event. Once you do that, you will find the client ID that I was just talking about here, and you will have a specific value. So you need to copy this value and paste it anywhere just to remember it. I'll be pasting it here. And now I'll go back to my website and navigate to a new page, but since my website is one-page application, I don't have actually other pages, so I'll just reload the page. Now let's go back to the preview mode and click on the new tab over here where I have a new page view event, and click on the page view event, and then let's see if the client ID is the same, which is the case, and you can also check for other event as well. But if you already see this on each page view event consistently, that means that it will be the same for the other events as well. If you like this video, I'm pretty much sure that you will like joining my web analytics community. I have built the web analytics community just trying to help non-technical users and marketers making sense of their data again, making sense or making sure that they trust your data. Because if you do not trust your data, you will not scale, you will not increase the revenue. So I'll leave the link to it in the description as well. And just for your information, it's not just another course, it is a full curriculum that is designed for anyone who doesn't have any information or any technical background in breaking into the web analytics industry, or just a marketer who just want to make sure that his or her tracking setup is working as expected. And on the top of that, you get exclusive access to senior analysts like myself. Whenever you're stuck, whenever you have a question, you can just post it in the community and I'll jump in personally and help, or someone from my team will do the same. And also, we have a weekly coaching call where you can just prepare your questions and send it to us, and we can review them live together on that call. If you even wanted to share your screen while explaining the issue, you can do that. So yeah, that was it. That was Ahmed, and I'll see you soon in the next videos. And make sure to drop a comment about any questions that you felt asking about this video, or if you actually have a tracking problem or a recommendation for future topic, make sure to drop it in the comment section and I'll do my best covering or answering that question. See you soon.